Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing really well. I wanted to wish you all a really great 2025. This is actually my first video that I'm filming for men in 2025. So I just wanted to say that I hope you guys all have an incredible year. I know that a lot of people had a rough 2024. I feel like it was something that a lot of people mutually said that 2024 was not the best year. So I really hope that you guys have a great year. So let's talk about fragrance today. I have a very exciting video that has been on my mind for a while now. I wanted to share with you guys an updated top 12 for life men's fragrance edition. So if I could only keep 12 men's fragrances for the rest of my life, currently these would be the 12 that I'm going to feature today. This list might be different if I filmed it in a year, in 2 years, maybe last year it would be different. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Just because I'm featuring these 12 fragrances, it doesn't mean that I don't love all of the other fragrances that I've recommended to you guys over time. So let's get into the list. I'm going to start out with a fragrance that I really feel like I am known for recommending. Actually, it's the fragrance that the most people know me for. Every time a man approaches me in Dubai and says, Demi, I watch your videos, I bought this fragrance because of you. It is always Tuxedo. So many of you guys purchased Tuxedo based off of my recommendation, and that makes me extremely happy because this truly is one of my favorite men's fragrances of all time, period, you guys. This fragrance is absolutely SEX in a bottle for me personally. This is as good as it gets for me. I actually just recommended it to a guy that came over to our house for New Year's Eve. We had a couple of people over and somebody came over and they are getting married next year. And basically, he asked me to help him to find his fragrance for his wedding day. And the guy ended up falling in love with my recommendation with Tuxedo. I gave him a bunch of fragrances to smell. I told him, these are all great. These are all my favorites. Which one do you like the most? And he said, Tuxedo. So if you guys have never smelled this, it is phenomenal. Tuxedo is a beautiful, slightly peppery patchouli with lots of vanilla and some ambergris. So it has a little bit of this salty vanilla vibe mixed with the patchouli, a little bit of this cold spices from that pepper, and also it has a little touch of something green in there. It smells extremely sexy, very masculine, just intoxicating to me. Really, you guys, this is one of my favorite fragrances in the entire world, and it has been for several years. I will never stop recommending this. I really think it's one of the best fragrances for men. And the longevity and projection is pretty good. It lasts around, I would say 7 to 8 hours or so on the skin with a nice projection. And the thing that I love about Tuxedo is that I do personally find this fragrance to be quite versatile. Of course, that is very subjective. Some of you guys might find this to be quite heavy, some of you the opposite. So it really depends on your taste. But personally, in my opinion, this fragrance is quite versatile. You can wear it in the day, in the night, in the spring, in the winter. You can wear it anytime and it works. I just absolutely adore this fragrance and it's truly one of my favorites of all time. Okay, let's go to a cheapie. Now, if you have been around on my channel for a long time, you will know that I love this fragrance. I've recommended it for years. This is Dunhill Icon. In terms of a cheap fragrance, this is as good as it gets, you guys. Dunhill Icon is, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance for a man. This is clean, a little bit peppery on the top. It's smooth, it's fresh. It is absolutely phenomenal. And I've mentioned it many times, but there is a certain scent in a lot of the hotels in Dubai, and it really has, a lot of them have that Terre d'Hermes, Basso, Isola Bleu, Dunhill Icon DNA in the hotel lobbies. So whenever I smell this, to me, it smells like a luxury, clean hotel, and it is just gorgeous. You have, I think, some neroli, a little bit of iris, some pepper, etc. But what you're going to get is a slightly neroli-esque type of DNA with a little bit of that pepperiness, a nice smoothness. It feels very clean, and it is like I said, as good as it gets, Dunhill Icon. And you can find this fragrance for a really great price online. Depending on where you get it, you can get it for a bargain. So definitely recommend it. You need to add this one to your collection. It really is in my top 12 for life. I cannot be without this scent. I think it's phenomenal. And yeah, Dunhill Icon, absolutely adore this fragrance. Another one of my absolute favorite fragrances is a fragrance that nobody speaks about. And I would love to dare you guys to go out and try this fragrance in 2025. For me, this is extremely underrated. Is it something creative, unique, something that you've never smelled before? No. But does it smell fantastic? Yes. This is Eau de Californie from Celine. Now, this fragrance, like I said, is incredibly underrated, but it is fan-freaking-tastic and so easy to wear. This is a fragrance that Pierre and I actually share, even though I do feel like this fragrance smells slightly more masculine leaning. I cannot get enough of this scent. Whenever Pierre wears this fragrance, I follow him around to get a whiff of his fragrance. It is just gorgeous. What you have with Eau de Californie is a fresh Palo Santo fragrance. So you do have a note of Palo Santo, which is kind of like this creamy, a little bit of like this smoky, woody vibe. But you also have this beautiful freshness in here from some bergamot. I think you also have some oak moss in here. It is phenomenal. You also have a gorgeous note of orris root, so it feels a little bit creamy and woody as well. So what you're going to get overall with this scent is a little bit of this fresh, creamy, earthy, woody fragrance, and it smells divine on the skin, you guys. I am telling you right now, like I can guarantee it almost. If you try this fragrance or if you buy it, spray it on you, and I can guarantee somebody will comment on your scent, because this fragrance, for some reason, people adore the way that this smells. Every time that I've worn it or Pierre has worn it, we've both received comments from people around us. What are you wearing? What's your fragrance? You smell really good, etc. I don't know what it is about this scent, but something about it is just very catchy to people. So definitely try this one in 2025. Like I said, it's not something super creative or niche or artistic, but it's a kind of sitting in the middle of being quite a commercial fragrance and also quite an interesting scent at the same time. I'm ready for the hate comments down below. This is Parfums de Marly's Layton. Now, when I thought about it, you guys know from watching my videos that I love Herod and I love Layton. Those are probably my two favorite Parfums de Marly fragrances on a man. And when I think about it, if I could only smell one of those fragrances on a man for the rest of my life, I feel like I would have to choose Layton. Now, obviously, this fragrance is extremely popular, pretty commercial. It's a fragrance that everybody knows. A lot of people dislike and a lot of people like. I do have to say though, for me as a woman, I find this fragrance so sexy on a man. I cannot even tell you guys. I actually was in Dubai Mall a couple of weeks ago and I went to the Apple store with Pierre, and there was a guy like standing right next to us that was clearly wearing Layton, and I cannot tell you how drawn I was to his fragrance. Not him, obviously, but his fragrance was phenomenal, and it was absolutely Layton. There was no way it was anything else. And I didn't ask him, but he was for sure wearing this fragrance. It is captivating, it's strong. It does have quite a unique profile in my opinion. This is it's just fantastic. This is a dry, aromatic, woody scent with this really delectable sweetness in there. It feels very rough, very hard, very powerful when you wear it. It is this beautiful balance between a fresh fragrance and a sweet woody fragrance. It's been perfectly balanced between the aromaticness, the sweetness, and this dry woody effect. It has a perfect balance between those kind of profiles, and I love it. Still to this day, I absolutely love it, and I will say that with my chest. You can say whatever you want about this scent, but personally, as a woman, I find this fragrance to be incredibly sexy on a man. But next up, I want to talk about another hype beast that has honestly become one of my favorite fragrances ever. This is Imagination from Louis Vuitton. Now, this fragrance is really hyped on TikTok, especially with the younger boys in the community, but don't let that kind of steer you away from trying it. Just because something's hyped, it doesn't mean that it's overhyped and it's bad. This fragrance is the example of that. This is a fantastic fresh fragrance that if you have never put your nose on it, definitely do so in 2025 because it is phenomenal, you guys. I am in love with Imagination. What you have in here, actually you can see from my bottle, like I have worn the heck out of this stuff. And just because I've worn it, it doesn't mean that it's not masculine. This is a very beautiful unisex fresh fragrance that a lot of men resonate with. What you have with Imagination is some tea and ginger and ambroxan and musk, and it's just so smooth and clean and relaxing and beautiful. And the thing that is so surprising about this fragrance is the longevity and projection. Sometimes I go a bit anosmic to it, but trust me, you guys, this fragrance lasts on the skin, I would say around 8 hours or so with a really good projection. This is also a fragrance that never fails to get a comment from somebody when I wear it. Whenever I wear this scent, I always get a comment like, oh, you smell really good. Oh, what's your fragrance today? Smells amazing. Like, I always get somebody commenting on my scent. Beautiful fresh fragrance that is so smooth and well balanced and well blended. It is honestly a masterpiece, this scent. So absolutely love it. Some of the Louis Vuitton fragrances are a little bit overhyped and some of them are appropriately hyped. And this is a fragrance that I think is appropriately hyped from Louis Vuitton. So definitely check it out. It is a fantastic scent that you'll need to smell. Next up, let's talk about my favorite fragrance of all time. Now, I wear this fragrance, but I also would love to smell this fragrance on a man. It is a unisex fragrance from Chanel, and it is the best in my opinion. This is Layton from Chanel. Guys, if you have never smelled this scent, please let this video be your sign to go out and smell this fragrance, especially if you are a fan of very warm, balsamic, deep, ambery fragrances. You are going to fall head over heels in love with this scent. Do you see my dent in this bottle? This is a true masterpiece of a fragrance. Layton, if you've never smelled it, is this rich, smoky, balsamic, ambery, slightly animalic fragrance, and it is just incredible. You have a little bit of lemon in the top, so it opens with this beautiful contrast between the citrus with those darker, smoky, ambery notes. And as that lemon starts to kind of settle and go away, you're left with this rich, just warm, ambery, smoky, slightly animalic fragrance. And it is wow. This fragrance, like I said, is truly a piece of art. It is a masterpiece, and it's something that I really feel like a lot of you guys should go out and try this year. If you like Grand Soir, if you like Ombre Sultan from Serge Lutens, if you like those deep, warm, rich ambery scents, you need to try this one. Longevity and projection, we do not even need to discuss it. It is a beast of a fragrance. And guys, this is another fragrance that every single time I wear this scent, without fail, somebody tells me something about my fragrance. You smell so good. What is your fragrance? What are you wearing tonight? Every time I wear it, somebody says something, especially from people in the perfume industry. People always comment about Layton. It is a masterpiece. It is my personal favorite fragrance on myself, and all of you guys need to try this one. It is a 10 out of 10. The next fragrance that I have here is Jubilation from Amouage. This is actually one of my partner's favorite fragrances, as you can see from the dent. I don't wear this fragrance myself, but I love to smell this on a man. To me, Jubilation is another fragrance I would consider to be a masterpiece. This is so well done by Bertrand Duchefort. It is an incredible, incredible fragrance that is really hard to describe. It's so beautifully balanced, so beautifully composed. You have, I think, blackberry in here, you have opopanax, you have patchouli, you have honey. To me, it feels like this beautiful, honeyed, woody, slightly resinous fragrance. It is just spectacular. Spec-freaking-tacular. This smells luxury, it smells classy, it smells refined, it smells like a gentleman. It just smells fantastic. If you like something very well-rounded, very complex, but quite easy to wear at the same time, this fragrance and Amouage in general are known for creating very complex, rich, and quite difficult fragrances, quite challenging scents. Jubilation is not super challenging in my opinion. Yes, it's complex. Yes, it's rich. Yes, it's super well done, but it's quite easy to wear for a man. So I really recommend checking this one out if you were looking for something that is very gentlemanly, very classy, and very just sophisticated. Please check out Jubilation. It is really a masterpiece. I love that little touch of honey in here mixed with those really rich woods. I don't really pick up oud or anything too animalic or overpowering in here. Like I said, it feels very well blended and very smooth. And it's just a fantastic scent. I love smelling this one on Pierre. It smells fantastic. And it's definitely in my top 12 for life. So Jubilation from Amouage. I also adore the Jubilation 40, but it is like a very big hike in the price. So I wouldn't suggest getting that unless you're like an uber fan of Jubilation. Then of course get it. But unless you have the cash, like don't worry and just get the original. This was hard. This was a very hard decision for me. I wanted to put in Terre d'Hermès, because it's one of my favorite fragrances of all time on a man. Terre d'Hermès, this DNA of that little bit of citrus with those woods, a little bit of that pepperiness. I am obsessed with that type of scent profile on a man. To me, it smells very classic, timeless. It doesn't feel like a DNA that is going to be outdated in 20 years or something like that. It's a very classic DNA that I am personally obsessed with on a man. But if I think about it, the one that I love smelling the most from that scent profile is actually Basso from Sospiro. Now, you guys know as well, I love vibrato, but I more love vibrato on myself, but I love to smell Basso on a man. This is a little bit similar to that Terre d'Hermès DNA, but imagine it done in a niche way, and that is what Basso is. What you have in Basso is a little bit of that citrusy, juicy top note, mixed with a little bit of that spice, like a peppery sort of spice. Then you have this gorgeous, sophisticated, woody dry down. It feels quite dry. It still remains fresh throughout the entire wear, and you definitely get that little bit of a peppery spice going on as well. It is absolutely fantastic. I just love this scent. Like literally guys, every single time Pierre wears this fragrance, I always tell him he smells fantastic. As every single fragrance in this list, I compliment whenever I smell it on Pierre. And Basso is really one of the most complimented. Whenever I smell it, I always give a compliment of this scent. It smells fantastic. Dry, woody, citrus, a little bit of that peppery spice. It is incredible. Really recommend it. Basso from Sospiro. The next fragrance is going to be no surprise if you watch my channel. It is Bleu de Chanel from Chanel. Sometimes the popular, timeless fragrances are the best and they will remain the best. And Bleu de Chanel is the example of that. Bleu de Chanel, I have the Eau de Parfum concentration, which I absolutely love. To be honest, I like all of the concentrations of Bleu de Chanel, so just get whichever one you like the most. I really love the Eau de Parfum. And guys, this fragrance has stood the test of time. Every single time I smell this on somebody, I always tell them they smell great. It is an incredible fragrance for a man. What you have is some grapefruit, you have a little bit of ginger, you have some incense, some dry woods. It is just incredible. In terms of a fresh kind of blue fragrance, Bleu de Chanel is by far the best in my opinion, by far. This smells super smooth, refined, classy, elegant, chic. It's versatile. You can wear this fragrance in any situation, any occasion, in any season, and it's going to work. This is beautiful. It's a commercial DNA, but done in the best way possible. Next fragrance is a scent that I have recommended a lot to you guys, but if I really think about it, it truly is one of my favorite fragrances on a man, and I cannot lie about it. This is Jazz Club from Maison Margiela. Wow, you guys, this fragrance is so good. Whenever I smell this fragrance, it just does something to me. I absolutely adore this DNA. What you have in Jazz Club is this beautiful tobacco, vanilla, and rum scent. So it feels, I don't know, a little bit boozy, very woody, a little bit sweet and addictive. You have a little bit of pink pepper in the top, which feels, it gives it like this warm, spicy kick. And then it settles into this beautiful boozy tobacco. And it is just fantastic. I thought about putting Les Indimitables Vanille Havane into this list as well. But if I could only pick 12, guys, I have to go with Jazz Club. Like, Jazz Club really just does something to me. Yes, Les Indimitables Vanille Havane is more refined, but Jazz Club, it's really one of my favorite fragrances. And like I said, I can't lie about that. So Jazz Club from Maison Margiela, such a great fragrance, especially on a date, especially for a night out. This fragrance just smells fantastic. I really recommend it still to this day. It's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Boozy, smooth, woody, slightly sweet, a little bit of spice. It is fantastic. Really recommend it, Jazz Club. The next fragrance that we have here is something that is very underrated. Not many people know about this fragrance, and I would love more people to try it in 2025. You definitely need to wear this one on your skin in order to appreciate it and understand the fragrance, but this is really one of my favorite fragrances on a man. This is Umeris from Soul of Makeen. Now, this is a very interesting fragrance that is absolutely captivating on a man. It is captivating, it is attention grabbing, it is unique, it's addictive, and I can't quite put my finger on why this fragrance is so addictive, but what you have with Umeris is a dry, woody scent with a little bit of pink pepper. You have some cedar, you also have some ambroxan. You have Immortelle. I love Immortelle in fragrances. It gives off a little bit of like a dried, honeyed, woody scent. Immortelle is a beautiful flower. I personally really love it. It actually comes from Corsica. Well, that's one of the places that it comes from, and I really love to smell Immortelle. Umeris is truly a unique scent that I wish more of you guys would try. It's kind of spicy, a little bit woody, very dry, a little bit sweet. It is spectacular. And on a man, this fragrance, like I said, comes across extremely addictive and powerful and alluring. So I'm obsessed with this fragrance. For now, I think I'm the only person that talks about this scent. But like I said, I really wish if you guys try this one, let me know what you think, because for me, it's fantastic. I'm obsessed with this scent. It lasts a long time, it projects, and it gets compliments as well. So I really love this fragrance. Definitely recommend it. If you like things like Jubilation, I would recommend trying Umeris. They don't smell the same, but I do feel like if you're a fan of Jubilation, you might like Umeris. Of course, do not blind buy it or anything like that, but try to pick up a sample or find a store that stocks this brand and try Umeris, spray it on your skin and see what I mean. I had a couple of people message me telling me that they bought this one because of my recommendation, and they told me that they are mind blown by how good it is. So yeah. And finally, we have a classic, a staple, an icon, something that I know is in a lot of your guys' collections. This is La Nuit de L'homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Now, this fragrance, I know it's been popular for a really long time. I know that it had its prime in the Jeremy fragrance 2016 era, but you guys, this fragrance is just so good. When I really break it down and I think about it, this fragrance is just freaking fantastic. And sometimes you need to remember that the best fragrances ever were released many years ago. And it's not always the newer stuff that is the best. And I feel like La Nuit de L'homme is a good example of that. This is really, it's crazy. La Nuit de L'homme is so crazy, you guys. You have cardamom and lavender, so it's a little bit aromatic, a little bit spicy. You have this woodiness, but it's not dark, it's not deep, it's not anything too crazy. It feels very sensual. And very romantic. I feel like that's the perfect word to describe La Nuit de L'homme. It's a very romantic scent for a man. There is also a beautiful sweetness in here, but not an overwhelming sweetness. Feels very well balanced, and it's just gorgeous. A little bit of an aromatic, soft, sweet, woody scent. It's fantastic. That's all I'm going to say about this scent. From me, absolutely in my top 12 for life. I love it so much. That is it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about my top 12 fragrances for life. This was really hard, and it doesn't mean that if I didn't speak about a fragrance that I've recommended that I don't love it. I'm literally sitting here as I've been speaking about these scents thinking of all the other fragrances that I wish I could include. There's so many that I love. Ombre des Abysses, Black Orchid, Tom Ford Noir Extreme. There is so many. Spice Bombing Stream even. L'Homme Ideal. There is so many that I wanted to talk about, but for now, I would say that's my top 12 for life. And yeah, Accord du Désert, Les Indémodables Haval. I feel FOMO for all those fragrances, but that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you all so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.